The Oscars aired over the weekend, and it was honestly a massive snooze fest. I was hoping for something approximating the high-octane action of the Slapgate incident, something to just spice things up, but nothing really interesting happened. I did note, however, that a movie called ANORA, starring actress Mikey Madison, took home huge wins. It won Best Picture, and Mikey Madison took home the Oscar for Best Actress, Best Lead Actress. Yep. And I noticed that she actually dedicated this award to the sex worker community because the movie ANORA centers around a sex worker, a stripper / prostitute. And she's talked about preparing for this role, going to pole dancing classes, and getting friendly with the sex worker community and getting to know these women.
One of my favorite memes, it says, in preparation for his role in Space Jam, Michael Jordan became a professional basketball player, actually winning several NBA championships.
I never saw comments that came off as so out of touch as Mikey Madison's, though, because obviously she is a privileged Hollywood elite at this point, and she is framing sex work as some kind of empowering lifestyle decision instead of something that destroys lives and disempowers women who participate in it. And
why does everything have to be a community?
Yeah, it's not a community. So I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not in the podcasting community.
No. If it's truly just a line of work, why are we talking about this community?
Like, we need less community.
It's weird. It's really weird that she's using this type of language. She also, earlier in the month of February, dedicated her BAFTA for Best Actress also to the sex worker community, saying, "I just want to say that I see you. You deserve respect and human decency. I will always be a friend and ally, and I implore others to do the same."
There's nothing more patronizing than calling yourself an ally.
Yeah,
actually, never mind.
Aren't you virtuous?
I'm gonna need you guys all to put your fists in the chat up as allies to the podcasting community.
Yes.
How else would we know our worth if you can't put a fist up and signal your allyship to this marginalized
need to feel validated right now. We are marginalized as members of the podcasting community. But she dedicated the Best Actress Oscar to the sex worker community as well, saying, "I just want to recognize and honor the sex worker community. I will continue to support and be an ally. All of the incredible people, the women that I have had the privilege of meeting from that community, have been one of the highlights of this incredible experience." And she also recognized the breathtaking work of fellow nominees. "I'm honored to be recognized alongside all of you. This is a dream come true." Fists in the chat.
Fists in the chat.
Which
is appropriate given what they're talking about here.
Yes. Solidarity. Allyship. I'm glad that we have you in our corner. You know, point of personal privilege. As a podcaster, it's really meaningful to see this gesture of solidarity.
Thank you for those
from
of you
all
who got
you.
my fisting joke. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
And I saw a lot of people responding to Mikey Madison's comments.
Are there people who do they make movies about drug addicts? Like, thank you for those of you in the drug addict community. Like, I get it if you're talking
for,
about
like,
the recovery.
Reboot.
Yeah. For those of you in the fuckboy drug addict community, we see you.
No,
you are valid.
I haven't seen that before.
I guess you could make it about the community around recovery. But even then, like, you wouldn't signal yourself as an ally to those in recovery.
No.
Like, if somebody said to me, I'm your ally, I'd have been like, what the fuck are you talking about?
No, it's so condescending, and it shows no real understanding of the people that she's talking to. Because everyone knows, with the exception of maybe a very small subset of high-end escorts or, webcam models or whatever, most of these women have turned to sex work as a last resort, or they are paying off impossible debt to a pimp who controls their entire life, or they are dependent on this money because they have a drug addiction that keeps them in this line of so-called work. And it is not glamorous. It's not empowering. It's not any of those things. And I don't even think that the aim of this movie, ANORA, was to portray it that way. One person who saw it remarked, "I watched this movie and cried because I thought it was such a powerful film which shows how sex work disempowers women. To see the people involved spin it into a sex work is valid shtick is disappointing to the point where I can't enjoy it anymore." So they kind of put this positive spin on it after the fact to make it palatable to the Academy community that was voting. And it worked. And people also pointed out the irony of Mikey Madison winning the Best Actress Oscar when one of the fellow nominees was Demi Moore for her performance in The Substance, which was a commentary on the pressures of aging as a woman, especially one in the public eye. Demi Moore is 62 years old, and Mikey Madison is a relatively new young actress. And they're claiming that Mikey Madison's win is proof more of the concept behind The Substance, that older women are dismissed and disregarded and devalued in society because they are not as attractive. Here were some of the tweets in response. Mikey Madison, for context,
so
is 25.
Are young, poor men.
True.
I don't care.
Including in Hollywood, younger men receive less accolades than older men.
I don't care.
Here were some of the tweets. The fact that Demi Moore lost to a better version of herself, Mikey Madison, who is younger, more beautiful, feels satirical, and it proves the Academy wasn't ready for The Substance. Another one said, "Wow, Demi Moore getting passed up for a younger, brighter star. Someone should make a movie about this." Demi Moore losing to Mikey Madison is basically the plot of The Substance. The point of The Substance was that older women in Hollywood are sidelined and ignored for young, new, beautiful ones. And then that exact thing happened to Demi Moore at the Oscars.
I guess I do kind of... my heart goes out to him a little bit because it's a lot easier to have the F you attitude when you're younger and more defiant. So for the young men who come into the industry with no accolades, no clout, no capital, no nothing, they can have this it doesn't matter, I'm going to succeed attitude that comes from youth. Almost like ignorance is a great thing to have when you're young because you don't know how much the deck is stacked against you.
Yeah.
But when you get older and you had all of that stuff when you were younger because it was inherent to your beauty, then there's going to breed resentment that I can almost understand if I didn't think that your maturity should outweigh it.
Well, I think that people also developed a little bit of a parasocial fixation on Demi Moore with the release of The Substance, because even when she was at the Golden Globes, seemingly dissing Kylie Jenner.
Oh, I saw that.
They were saying, oh, it's because she's sending Kylie a message about toxic beauty standards, as if Demi Moore wrote and directed The Substance instead of just starring in it. Like, after all, she is just a pretty face. And yeah, she's a pretty 62-year-old woman. And she had nothing to do with the message behind the movie. It's so-called deep, and it's Oscar bait, and they ended up winning one for, I think, the best makeup and effects design.
That
which
makes sense.
Makes more sense for it anyway.
Maybe best makeup effects. I think best visual effects went to Dune 2.
Oh, right. Yeah. It's about the makeup.
Sound design,
Mm-hmm.
Like,
because it was a body horror movie.
There's just a reason why successful male actors are less annoying, because they know that they don't have the grievance and they know nobody cares. Like, an actor, like the male actor who struggles to succeed gets about as much as like, man, took a lot of work, but finally got here. And that's it. And that's so innocuous that somebody can like let that imprint on themselves and see a little bit of their own struggle in it, even if it's nothing alike.
Sure.
Whereas the very specific struggle that women are talking about in this is only akin to Hollywood. and industries where your beauty is most important. The idea that you struggle when you're young and you work to succeed is something that even women can understand, depending on the field of study or place they go to work. But the idea that I had it all given to me because I was beautiful when I was younger, and then I was working against the clock, that's just a very unique thing that isn't going to resonate with everyone and comes off as sour grapes later. I'm not trying to be rude to anyone, but I'm just saying there's a reason why a certain one just seems more palatable when you see them gathering an award and giving a speech about it. Also, I'm sick of movies with messages. I think from now on, movies should just, I used to hate the idea of AI making movies. We need 10 years of movies that have no plot whatsoever. Just bangs and explosions that they can't explain away as some type of critique on Zelensky and capitalism.
Well, none of those movies are ever going to be recognized by the Oscars anyway.
Well, they're stupid, so.
It's just, I don't know. It's not like it even matters that much. People are reading into the Mikey Madison win too deeply. Ultimately, it was seen as a way to pander to a different marginalized group. Yeah. And that was going to be true no matter who won.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.